People love nothing more than fighting for their rights to not be better. And that is absolutely baffling to me. Whenever I say something about depression and how that doesn't mean that something is wrong with you, but rather it is a symptom and or result of what it is that you are doing and how it is that you are living your life, people jump to defend this depression, this thing that they swear is so terrible, and they insist that something is wrong with their brain or it's genetic or something along those lines, which is basically suggesting that there's absolutely nothing that they can do about it. And the question that I have is, why do you want to be right? Because sometimes what's useful is far more important than what's true. Whether or not depression is truly a disorder doesn't actually matter. The point is, you will be in a much better position if you believe that you can affect it than if you believe that you can't. Because if you believe you can affect it, then you will try. You will try and see, how can I make this better? How can I make this go away? Maybe it will be the gym. Maybe it won't. Maybe it's your relationships. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's what you're doing with your life. Maybe it's the fact that you feel like you have no purpose because all you do is run around chasing pleasure that's making you feel like everything is hopeless and you would be better off not being here. At least if you believe that you can change it, you will try and you will have hope and you will have something to keep you pushing forward. And if I am right, then eventually that will make your depression go away. But if I am not, at least you will be doing things and you will be doing productive things and achieving things along the way. Because would you rather be sad and broke and fat, or sad and rich and in shape? Would you rather be sad with terrible relationships or sad with great relationships? Even if I am wrong and your depression is something that is truly real and it truly is a result of some nebulous brain chemical disorder, you will be in a better position if you believe that it is something that you can change, if you do not think it's real and immutable and just something that you were doomed to suffer from, because then you will give up. You will have absolutely no reason to try. You will have absolutely no reason to do any of these unpleasant and or difficult things because you don't see a light at the end of the tunnel. If you are trapped somewhere and you don't believe there is an escape, then you are just going to sit there, because why would you exert yourself trying? But if you believe that there is a way out, at least you will be doing something productive. And as I have said many times before, the universe rewards effort. When you do things, you get things. And when you believe you can do things, then you will do things, which means in return, you shall get things. This applies to all things. People talk about white supremacy and the system and all of that, what's not. Even if I'm wrong and that is real, you will be in a much better position if you believe that that is not something that is holding you back. Because when you go into a situation and you have a negative outcome, or an outcome that is less than and or different than what it is that you hoped, and you believe it's because of the color of your skin, then you're not going to do anything different next time, if there even is a next time, and you didn't just give up because you believe that you are forced to deal with these things forever because of something that is entirely outside of your control. But if you believe that what's holding you back and what's standing in your way is your own actions, then you can self-assess and you can say, okay, what can I do better and what can I do different? And that will put you in a better position the next time. So again, even if the world truly is run by white supremacy, as so many victim-minded people like to convince themselves it is, you will still be in a better position if you do not believe that is the case. Because if you do not believe that is the case, you will act as though that is not the case. But if you believe it's true, if you believe that your skin color is a hindrance, whether you're right or not, it always will be, because you will sit there and blame that on everything whenever something happens. You will blame the color of your skin for everything that happens to you, and that's not something that you can change. But let's go to a job thing. People swear that they don't get hired because they're black or Mexican or Asian or women or whatever the case may be. Those are all things that they cannot change. So they have no reason to do anything different. They just keep going and doing the exact same things at various job interviews and getting turned down and just blaming it on discrimination. But if you don't believe that's the case, if you believe it's you, then you can sit there and say, okay, could I have spoken better? Could I have shown up earlier? Was I late? Was I dressed properly? Was my hygiene on point? Did I answer the questions in the way that was best to answer the questions? Did I do the absolute best that I can? And if not, what can I do better? And then you will go off and try again with different strategies until you figure out what it is that works. And going back to the universe thing, the universe rewards effort. That is effort. When you put in the effort, you will get things, which is why you will be in a better position if you believe that you can affect whatever it is that you are going through. Anything else, whether it is true or not, is just victim mentality. There is absolutely nothing worse that you can do than to believe that things are happening to you simply because. There is nothing worse than to believe that your suffering is due to things entirely outside of your control. There are men who believe that women don't want to go out with them because they are under 6 feet tall, which is absolutely ridiculous. But even if that's correct, even if that's true, you will be in a much worse position when you tell yourself that's what it is, because you can't do anything about your height. I mean, I know they got those weird knee surgeries and whatnot, but that's absolutely ridiculous and you shouldn't do that. The point is you can't do anything about your height. So you're just going to be mopily going throughout the world with no confidence, thinking that you'll never get the woman that you want because of something outside of your control. But if you don't believe that's the case, then again, you can self-assess and you can analyze and you can say, am I funny? Am I charismatic? Am I well-spoken? Am I interesting? Am I bringing stuff to the table? Am I good at conversations and going out on whatever the case may be? There is something that you can look at and change, but you are never going to do that if you do not believe that you can better your situation. Again, I am not blanketly arguing whether or not any of these things are true. They're not, but I'm not sitting here trying to argue that. It doesn't matter if they're true. What matters is what you believe, and believing they are true is never going to serve you. Believing these things are true are going to stand in your way far more than any of these things that you suffer from ever possibly could. You are doing yourself a disservice when you adopt the beliefs that you have a bad life or you are not where it is that you want to be because of something that you cannot control, and that you just have bad luck and things just happen to you and oh, woe is me. Because all that does is put a bunch of negative energy out into the universe and bring a bunch more negativity on to you. The question in any situation should be, in any situation that does not go your way, rather, should be, how is this my fault? What can I do better? And how can I prevent this from happening again and get more favorable results the next time? And that will put you in a much better situation. But you will never be in a position to put yourself in that situation if you are always looking for something to blame and arguing for your own shortcomings.